Princess Diana and Prince Harry, are they truly two of a kind? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Nice to see you. Hope you're all keeping well. I know it's a strange thing, isn't it, with Prince Harry? We've had some very heartbreaking revelations from him about just how much he missed his late mother, naturally, Princess Diana. Although rather ghoulish, I felt, to sell it for money, not just in his book, but on chat shows, talking about her very openly, then criticising the general public who adored his late mother by claiming, well, they didn't know her. Of course they didn't. The bottom line is it doesn't stop people showing sympathy at a very difficult time. But clearly Harry wanted everything, all the attention for himself, seemingly not understanding exactly how the royal family works. They are part of us, we are part of them. That's the deal for them being the royal family, as it were. But it's interesting to note now that a story has emerged regarding the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. Now, it's been alleged many times over the years that, in fact, Donald Trump had the hots, shall we say, for the newly divorced Princess Diana. And so much so they bombarded her with flowers. Most recently, there's been a press release and a press story regarding another British broadcaster over here, Selina Scott, claiming that she witnessed this and Diana found Donald Trump rather creepy. She didn't know what to do with the endless flowers being delivered to Kensington Palace. Well, it's an interesting story, but as ever, there are two sides to that particular story. We were around at that time when that particular situation was happening, and there was certainly no bombardment of flowers. If anything, Princess Diana was incredibly flattered by very powerful people, as we saw with the Harrods boss son, Dodi Al-Fayed. Told you before on this channel, I knew Dodi very well, working for his father, who had a radio station based inside Harrods at the time, so you get to know people. Dodi wasn't romantically interested at all in Diana, but naturally felt it was kind of good for his cachet to be associated with such a powerful, beautiful and media-savvy woman. What about Donald Trump? Well, the bottom line was, he was offering somewhere for her to stay over in the United States, where she was musing at the time about going to live. You see the similarities now with Harry. And what about Selina Scott? Well, again, you could take her particular side of that story with a huge grain of salt. You see, Selina did not get on well interviewing the former President Donald Trump and had something of an axe to bear for many years. Now, I can say this from personal experience. I remember working alongside Selina when she was an ambassador for the now defunct department store Austin Reed. And to say she was challenging would be an understatement. And I also had worked with her at Sky News, of which I saw some rather strange behaviour. Now, I'm not taking sides on either one, but you have to say as you find. I think it's kind of cruel, whether you like Donald Trump or not, as a person, as a politician, for him to be blasted like this as female together. Diana was flattered. There's no two ways about it. Didn't know too much about Donald Trump then. He wasn't the huge public figure that he later became. But as many men around the world were vying for her attention, she was very much flattered by this. And of course was looking for someone at least to give her some, shall we say, validity. She liked the idea of still being able to live a life of freedom, but also grown very accustomed to the enormous wealth that surrounded her while in the British monarchy, and her own independent wealth too. So while Selina Scott may blast the former president, as ever, there are two sides to every story. And my version of this story is this. Diana had no romantic illusions towards Donald Trump, but she certainly was flattered and at points was considering the offer for her to go and stay at one of his many vast and very private properties. So as ever, it's good to clear both sides of the story up, is it not? Neil Sean in the very heart of England.